Let me switch on the camera to indicate that I am here with you all. But in the meantime, I'll be switching off the camera time to time because that is to make sure that streaming is made easy. When the camera is on, data streaming sometimes lags. Therefore, to indicate that I'm live here, I switched on the camera, and in a while I'll be switching it off. That's how we would go it further. Well, we have nearly 9 of you, which means 8 of you are already there. I want everyone to come on. So let me ask from you, have you all got the access to the Moodle page? And have you all got the chance to do things there on the Moodle page? Let me share the Moodle page screen. Yes. Who is still struggling to join the Moodle course? Okay, Sasmi says you got there. Is it the case of everyone? Have all of you got access to the Moodle page? I wish you are, right? And I wish that most of you have joined the initial workshop I had with the school children. Some of you were there. Well, I'm just wondering what happened to some of these members who did not turn up today. Because the first session cannot be taken in a second day. Therefore, we'll keep all the recordings available for everyone to see. If they missed any session, you can simply go to the Moodle page and see the recordings and simply come back to the next day's lesson. Okay, great. So let me tell you at the very onset some of the preliminaries of the Moodle page. Things that you should know, things that you should do with the Moodle page, right? So let me demonstrate it first, and then we'll go ahead. Now, Academic Literacy for STEM Studies is a course designed for pre-university students, which means, before or rather while you are doing your university studies, you can continue on this program. This program is actually made to make your first year and all your academic life made easy. That is the purpose of this whole program. Here, we actually teach you two things. First thing is, we teach you the academic English that requires for you to win through the English medium education in the university. Secondly, we'll be teaching you how to behave like an academic in the sense how to be part of the academic world. How can you think like a scientist? How can you read like a detective? And how can you write like a pro? So those are the three things that we'll be teaching here in Academic Literacy for STEM Studies program. For that, we actually manage all our learning resources through this space. Tour Academic Literacy for STEM Studies 2026 page. I wish we have shared the information. How can you join the page, be part of it? And I wish that everyone has the access to it. Once you get to the course page, you will see that things appear in general section. They actually are meant to post everything that is valid for every day of the class. Now, if you can see announcements, I haven't sent any announcement yet. But if I happen to send any announcement, you can read the announcements here. Typically, when I send an announcement, it will be delivered to your inbox, email inbox. You can see it in email inbox. And when you click on the very email, in the email, there is a link telling that, read this in context. Then if you click on that, if you have access to the Moodle, you'll be simply directed to the course page, and there you can read the announcement. Second tag, what you can see here now highlighted, this is class meeting link that gives access to the Moodle page link so that you don't need to keep it recorded all the time. It is there in the Moodle page. Once you log in, once you click on this, then you will be directed to the Moodle page. Click again here as well. Then you will be connected to the meeting, right? So to facilitate you, we had an orientation distinguishing between your school life and your university life. We actually discussed in Sinhala and English how the very nature of school education and how it's going to be different in the university, and all what happened in the orientation can be reached once again if you like. The slides are given there, and the recording of the session is also uploaded there. So you can go there and watch it and be prepared with all those things. And your first process description is something that I will take in the second workshop. You don't need to worry about it. But I want you to get into this particular thing, your first research article. I don't know whether you have read it or not, but we expect you to read. Today, I'll be touching a little on it. Now, for each week, we have sections here. For this week, I haven't uploaded anything yet, but once the session is done today, I'll be uploading all the material, homework, and the activities that you're supposed to do there into this particular week. Is that part clear, my dear kids? Is your activity on Moodle clear? So if you want to see what is the latest in this Moodle page, you have to scroll to the bottom. Right now here, the other weeks are, though they are indicated, I haven't fed anything. But since we are here in current week, you can see the material relevant here, but I haven't uploaded anything. That's why you cannot see anything there. But orientation matters are there. Is that clear? Okay, Tariq confirms clear. And the others can also confirm by just sending me a thumbs up. When you indicate thumbs up signature icon, that indicates me that you are done with that part. Well, thank you, Sanduni and Sashni. Only two of you have given me the thumbs up. Does it mean that others need support on? Thank you, Sitika. Well, four of you have indicated. What about the others? Fayanuja, thank you. Well, SI, can you please rename your name with a perfect name like the others have? Just, just two letters might indicate something. Thank you. Thank you, Sasna. You also have indicated that the Moodle activity is clear. Now, friends, one thing that you have to keep in mind, what is it? What is it? Thank you, Muhammad and Tariq and Chatumini. You confirmed in messages that the things are clear. And Sitika also confirmed in message, things are clear. Now, one thing you have to keep in mind, Putta, this being a virtual and online thing, we'll be meeting every week for sure. Don't ever miss the meeting chance, because in the meeting, you can resolve issues and you don't need to do any extra effort when you come into the live meeting. So everything is cleared. And if you have found anything not so clear, we can clear it during the session itself. Don't postpone it to a later day or to recording, because it is always disadvantageous for you. So I'm going to now show you the kind of certificate and kind of transcript that we offer at the end of the whole program, right? Let me share you with the transcript and certificates that we sent for your previous batches, right? And yes, that is this transcript and certificates. So you see, let me share it. You will be receiving a certificate with the University of Moratuwa logo on top of it and with a signature from the head of the department, that's me, and indicating that you have completed, participated this whole thing officially. So this is how the certificate looks like, what you did, where it is done, and the course content is indicated in the overleaf of the certificate. And in addition to the certificate, if you complete your uh, assessment components, there are three assessment components we typically take into consideration. What you can now see is the academic transcript of this whole program. You see, here we offer the student details, and this is a computer generated transcript on which you see the assessment. Actually, assessment component has three major components. Now, this program has 6 learning outcomes. Can you see here the learning outcomes? The first learning outcome, I told you the learning outcome means after completing this program, what you will be able to do. That is learning outcome. So these are the learning outcomes that we set for this program. I'm reading. What is the first learning outcome? Comprehend complex academic texts related to STEM disciplines. Now you all are functioning in science, technology, engineering, and mathematics or medicine fields. In those fields, you have to deal with academic texts, which are really, really complex. After completing this program, you become capable, you are becoming able to understand substantially these textbooks. That is one of the skills that you practice. And the second learning outcome is acquire and apply specialized technical vocabulary. Now, when you're dealing with STEM subjects, you all need to master uh, STEM vocabulary and academic vocabulary. And we'll be helping you acquire this technical vocabulary in your everyday academic English. And the third learning outcome is understand lectures and discussions on STEM topics. Now, you, after completing this program, will be able to attend any lecture here in Sri Lanka or in any part of the world done in English medium. You'll be able to attend any of the lectures in STEM field, understand them, and you will be able to participate in discussions in STEM university lectures. And ILO 4, the next learning outcome, we want you all to be able to produce well-organized academic essays and reports. Now, when it comes to your university life, you have to produce lots of academic essays, lots of lab reports, a lot of technical reports and assignments. And we assure that after completing this program, you all become well-organized producers of essays, reports, and all those writing documents. And the fifth learning outcome is we will be making you able to deliver clear presentations and participate in discussions. Delivering presentations in STEM subjects, in any related discipline, and how to take part in a discussion, all that is will be part of a learning outcome skill that you practice. And finally, we will be expecting you to develop fundamental academic research skills, because being a university student, you are partly a learner and partly a researcher. And at the end of your university life, you have to make sure that you become a researcher. So by following this program, we give you the fundamental academic research skills required for you. So all these are indicated in your academic transcript. And you see the passing criteria is given here. If you can see, from 80 to 100, we offer you higher distinction. From 75 to 80 marks, we'll be offering you distinction. From 60 to 75 marks, a merit pass. And from 50 to 60, a pass. And if you cannot gain 50% of the assessment, you are failed. Even though you are failed, we actually give you the chance to join with the next batch, immediate next batch, to come and complete your task, because this is not just, one time teaching and finishing it off. This is the way that we assist you even during your A levels, after A levels, and even if you are still in a university struggling with some other things, if you find this time difficult, yes, we are allowing you to participate in the next program when it comes in, and you can complete all this. Now, keep in mind, passing mark in this program is 50, right? So for all assessment components are indicated here. If you can see, this particular student participated in the first assessment component, individual presentation. This is a half an hour presentation done with visuals and multimedia, and this tests several learning outcomes, and for that the particular candidate gained this much of mark. And we'll be assessing you on an academic essay. Presentation and academic essay are typically the final assessments, and that also tests these learning outcomes, and this is the mark she got for that component. And the next thing is Moodle based quizzes. Now every week we'll be posting you all with some quizzes on Moodle. Everyday teaching is tested on Moodle as a Moodle quiz. You have to make an attempt on those Moodle quizzes, and they are auto-graded. That marks also appear in your transcript, so that it is a fully fledged online program on which you will be getting an academic transcript as well as a certificate of completion, right? So these are University of Morato Engineering Faculty approved certificates, and they are signated by the university officials, and of course will be coming handy with content and your transcript as well. Are you happy about what you can earn at the end of the day? Can you confirm me? Are you clear about what you are going to master after following this course? And tell me whether are they the skills that you were looking for. දැන් මගේ පුතාලා මේ පාඨමාලාවට සම්බන්ධ වීමෙන් බලාපොරොත්තු වුණේ මම ඔය සඳහන් කරපු හැකියාවන් ටික ලබා ගන්නද, ඒවා ලබා ගැනීමෙන් අනතුරු ඔයාට ලැබෙන සහතිකය සහ ට්‍රාන්ස්ක්‍රිප්ට් එක ගැන ඔබ සතුටුයිද? ඒ කාරණේ පැහැදිලිද? Thank you. 3 of you have confirmed yes. Thank you, Randuni. Thank you, Chaturi, Chatumi, Sitika, and Sayanuja. Yes. Yes. So, today's we'll be starting with the vocabulary strategy. But before that, I will be inviting all of you to open your mics. Yes, Chaturanga. Yes, certificate is very important indeed. Yes. And it's going to actually, once you get this certificate, what matters most is not typically the certificate. Certificate can speak alone, but without even a certificate, if you can function independently in STEM degree program, that is the biggest learning outcome, right? So these are the things that you are going to receive at the end of the day. Well, let us now see how and who we are. Now we'll be taking just a couple of minutes to see each other and speak just 30 seconds about who you are, from where you are coming from, and how do you like this course to happen. So I'll stop sharing first. I'll allow you to switch on your video for the time you speak, and unmute yourself and speak who you are and from where you are joining from, and tell me what is your expectation from this course. So let us begin with Sasni. Sasni, it's over to you. Just switch on the camera and unmute and tell us from where you are joining and how are you. Sasni, it's over to you, Pute. Does it mean that Sasni is not in the computer, but she just kept it for... You do not need to leave. Some of you are leaving sometimes when these things appear. Okay, if Sasni is getting ready, since Sasni is getting ready, can one volunteer start telling who you are and how you are doing? And what is your expectation from this program? Painuja, can you start, please, Puta, because you are familiar with us. You have to unmute your mic, Pute.
Oh, sorry, sir. Good evening.
Right, it's working now.
Good evening, sir,
Good evening.
and good evening, my friends. I'm Riven and Sanuja from Calmani. I'm now I'm undergraduate at Eastern University, at the Faculty of Science, especially Physical Science.
Perfect. So what do you expect from this course?
I, I want I know my English language and with the modern world, and in my university life I have some in this language, some other such as a presentation skill. That's wise, so I want to keep it up more more.
Right. Thank you, Sanuja, for starting. And glad to see you here and glad to have you here. And we'll certainly be delivering what you expect from us. Thank you, Pute. And Sashni indicated me that she has a problem with the camera. It's okay. But Sashni, you can speak, I wish. Yeah, just speak and tell us who you are and what you're doing and what you expect from us. Sashni, it's all to you.
Good afternoon. I am
Good
from
afternoon.
Goal. I am expecting to Colombo Physical Science degree program. I am
Okay,
expecting that making English knowledgeable.
well, so from
Hello.
where you are joining, Pute?
I mean goals.
From God. Okay, thank you, Sasni. Welcome to the group and welcome to the class. And we'll do what you expect us to do. And can I hear from Tariq? Hi, Tariq.
Good evening, sir. Good evening, my friends. I am Tariq from Nawalpitiya, Kandy district, and I have currently applied for the Electronics and Communication Engineering in Open University of Sri Lanka, and currently waiting for the entrance. And I am expecting to learn in this course. In I am expecting to learn to improving my English skills in academics, which is needed in university life. And after that, and I need soft skills for that too.
Thank you, Tariq. And you are most welcome. And we are glad to have you here. And we'll do the needful for you to succeed in what you like in your future. Kalpana, Puta, it's over to you.
Hello, sir. I'm Kalpana. I live in Maharagama. I'm doing IT degree in State University.
Okay.
and I try to improve my English side. And yes.
Thank you, Kalpana. Glad to have you here, and we'll be trying our best to deliver what you want from us. And I want everyone to communicate every day with voice, and that's what makes you capable. So, can I hear from Chatumi? If you can switch on your camera and voice, that is the best way that you can respond. Hi, Chatumi.
Good evening,
Good
sir.
evening, Budhe.
I'm an University of Pennsylvania. Want to improve knowledge before starting my academic.
Right, Budhe, from where you are joining?
Homagama.
You're joining from Homagama. Okay, Chatumi, you are waiting for University of Peradeniya to begin your studies, right? Okay, you're welcome here in the class. And can I hear from Randuni? Hello, Randuni.
Hello, sir. Hi, everyone. I'm Randuni, joining from Raddalugama. I'm currently waiting for my A-level results to come out. I did my second shy at 2025. And yeah, I want to improve my academic skills before getting into a university. Thank you.
Thank you, Randuni. And we'll do our best to help you out. Can I hear from Pasindu? It's over to you, Buddha.
My name is Pasini Chaturanga. I am living in Gampaha. I am select the University of Eastern for Physical Science degree program. I come this course for improve my English knowledge.
Thank you, Pasindu, and we'll certainly be helping you. And with that, we can actually move to Sitika or Sitika. Sitika, it's over to you.
Good afternoon, sir. I am from Gampaha and I'm after A-level student. So I'm willing to do a degree program in SLIT. So I will think that this program will be so helpful for that. Thank you, sir.
Certainly, Sitika will be helping you how to navigate in your degree program in future. And can I hear from Fatima Sasna? Do it's over to you.
Yes, sir. I am Fatima Ekna. I am from Guatemala, medical district. I am now currently as a undergraduate student at South East University of Sri Lanka. I am following the electrical engineering. Hello, sir.
Yes, Buddha, it was all clear what you were telling. Thank you very much for joining all of you. And I'm here, Prasanna Ratnayaka. I'm a senior lecturer grade 1 at the Faculty of Engineering, University of Moratu, and I'm currently serving as the head of the Department of Languages and, of course, the author of this course, delivering to you as the second batch of Acalistem program. And I myself, and we have several other teachers to teach you the sessions. I myself will be delivering today's session, and in future sessions, you'll be meeting with the other panel of lecturers who are to come on board. So with that, let's move on to today's discussion. Now, one of the critical things that you have to start your learning as an academic thinker in English, particularly now, unlike your everyday English usage in social media or in chats or in your everyday conversations, you'll be using English, but that is what we call the social English. In social English, you simply communicate with other people in a very simple, very nuanced way. It's not a very big deal. But when it comes to dealing with English to understand big scientific concepts, scientific disciplines, and of course, the theories and praxis in that field, it's going to be a different experience. That needs something beyond what you already know. That's why we are guiding you here through Acalistem program. So, my dear students, let us start with building the vocabulary foundation. I have one question to ask from you. As far as you know by now, in English, how many words do you think you are able to deal with? How many words do you think that you are able to deal with? Just type it in chat and send me just a random estimate. You don't need to be precise, but how many words do you think that you do know already? Can I hear things on chat? Sasni thinks no idea. Yes, perhaps. You have no idea how many words you know, but you tend to deal with it. Yeah. Okay. Everyone, please respond. How many words do you think that you know? So none of you do have any numerical sense. Fatima Sasna says around 300. Okay, lots of words say Kalpana. Yeah. What about the others? Okay, with that comes my second question. What is the second question? Many, but not much. Okay, so Anuja. Okay. My second question is, how many words do you think that you should know in order to be proficient in learning science subjects in English medium? Do you have any estimate or any idea? How many do you think? Respond me quickly. No idea. Yes, Sitika. Let me switch off the camera because it's easy then for streaming across all of you. Yes, kids? No idea. None of you do have an idea.
I
Okay.
didn't hear the second question clearly.
Second question, Fatima, is, how many words do you think that you should know in order to be proficient in studying in English medium?
Okay, I got it.
Chatumi correctly responds more than what I wrote right now. Okay. That's a good idea. Yeah. I know something, but you know that you have to know something more than what you already know. Perfect. Okay. Okay. Now, this was actually a puzzle until quite recent time. How many words and what words should you know when you want to be proficient in studying in English medium? We call it EMI, English medium instruction, and we call it EML, English medium learning. Now, for you all to be proficient in English medium learning, you actually need to know a lot, but all that lot is presently identified. So what lot of words that you should know in order to be successful in your academic field is now precisely known. Are you happy about it? අද වෙනකොට පුතේ academically ඔයාලට succeed වෙන්න ඕන කරන වචන පදාසය කොච්චරද ඒවායේ සීමාව මොකක්ද කියන එක නිශ්චිතවම අඳුරගෙන තියෙනවා. සතුටුයිද ඒ ගැන? මේ මෑතක් වෙනකන් එක ප්‍රශ්නයක් වෙලා තිබුණේ. ඇව්රිල් කොක්ස්හෙඩ් කියන මහාචාර්යවරිය නවසීලන්ත විශ්වවිද්‍යාලයකින් හොයාගෙන තියෙනවා මේ ලෝකයේ තියෙන විද්‍යා තාක්ෂණ වෛද්‍ය ශාස්ත්‍රීය humanities ඔය කියන හැම ෆීල්ඩ් එකකම ඇකඩමික් කෙනෙක් විදිහට ෆන්ක්ෂන් වෙන්න ඕන කරන මූලික ඇකඩමික් වර්ඩ් ලිස්ට් එක මොකක්ද කියලා. ඒකේ දිග පළල ඇය අඳුනගෙන තියෙනවා. ඒක දැන් වෙනකොට විද්‍යාත්මක ප්‍රකාශනයක් විදිහට එළියට ඇවිල්ලා තියෙනවා. ඒක නිසා අපිට ලේසි වැඩේ පටන් ගන්න. සතුටුයිද ඒ ගැන? Are you happy about the fact that you precisely know what words should you know in order to be proficient in this field? Are you happy for that? If you're happy, you can send me yes. Thank you. You respond with chat. That's great. And you can respond with emotions as well. Yes. That's a way of communicating. Well, thank you. So, before we move on to the academic word list, I'm going to give you the basic skills around the academic word list that you should be able to have. So let's read and let's try and navigate what these vocabulary strategies that we all should have. Are you ready to go there? Are you ready to go there and navigate, my dear friends? Yes, yes, okay. Now we are going to try vocabulary strategies as the first lesson of our day. So I have subtitled my presentation as Decoding Precision Through Acquisition and Context. Now you see lots of new words are coming in. Decoding, you know what is coding and decoding. Decoding means putting that into your own words. Precision means, in science communication, you have to be directly, clearly, crystal clear communicate things. That is precision. What you have in your mind should be 100% clear to your reader, to your listener. That is precision, right? Acquisition means you acquire, you become familiar with those words. And context means where and how these words actually function. So, in this session, we'll be looking at strategies to learn vocabulary. Is it something that you expected in the very first place? Is it something that you expected in the very first place of the class? Let me know. Did you expect me to begin with vocabulary strategies? Yes, because without setting up the vocabulary, it's quite difficult for anyone to move along because it's simply the basic building block of language. Academic, professional, social, or any form of language, without its proper vocabulary strategy, you cannot move across. Well, so let's see vocabulary, what it means. Now, vocabulary is seen as currency. You know what is currency means? Your ability to make your seen in the field you are in. Now, you all are going to be part of a science degree, a technology degree, or a medical degree, or perhaps a mathematics degree. In those fields, just you learn there and answer questions is not enough. You have to be an active member of the community where the science is taught, science is learned, and science is researched. In that sense, you have to work there like a professional, right? So in your professional functioning in STEM fields, vocabulary is going to be your currency. You know what is currency? It's like, now when dollars, if you have dollars in your pocket, you can enter any country and buy anything. The same way, if you have right vocabulary in your mind, in your brain, it's easy for you to succeed in any part of your academic world. I wish you got the point. So what I say as a professional tool, I'm reading. Precise word choice demonstrates professional authority and mastery. It affects every aspect of career life. Now, Buddha, I need to acknowledge this. Sometimes when the lecture goes on, signal issues appear, but don't worry. Those signal issues are typical and probably available everywhere. But since the sessions are recorded, and of course, I am joining as early as possible back to the session, I keep an eye on what I read, what I speak, and how it is delivered to you. So don't worry. Don't disconnect. Stay connected. I'm coming back if it get disconnected. Okay. Now, as I told you, when you have dollars, you can go to Singapore, you can go to US, you can go to UK or anywhere you like and make any purchase, you can buy anything from any market because you have dollars. The same way, when you have the correct vocabulary, correct word choice, you actually can function as an authority in the profession, which means you can function as a boss in your field. And whatever you speak, whatever you write will be clear to the others. So that's why we call it currency, right? It actually is helpful for every aspect of your career. Learning, partaking in discussions, writing, answering, doing presentations, everything is made easy when you have the right vocabulary with you. And the second aspect, if you can see in the right hand side, subconscious depth. What is it? Just knowing the word itself won't work. වචනය දැනගත්ත පමණින් පුතේ වැඩේ සිද්ධ වෙන්නේ නැහැ. So you have to get the word familiar and you have to make sure the new word that you are learning is actually used once and again in your everyday life so that it becomes automatic, or rather it is automatized in your active vocabulary when you master with it. So this subconscious depth is very important. For you to be a master of a particular vocabulary item, what you have to do is you have to continue reading, right? And when you read through, when you come across the same word once and again in different texts, you become very confident on that particular word. That's how this vocabulary game happens. So it is something that you should, however, master. And once you mastered, you are going to be a professional in the field. The second thing is to master it, you have to use it frequently. You have to use it once and again. So we are going to look at one of the simple strategies that everyone must know. Now, I'm sure that most of you are using dictionaries, online dictionaries, or rather virtual dictionaries or practical physical dictionaries. Now, when you search for a word for its meaning, there is something called metadata relevant to any word. What are these metadata? Now you just get the word and its meaning, but what else? Remember, dictionaries typically offer critical data, right? It is not only about the definition, but there are other things that you should know about the word. The first thing is every word has a phonetic part. Phonetic part means how you should articulate the word, or rather how you should sound the particular word in English. That is given in phonetics. So if you just do not know the phonetic symbols, in electronic dictionaries, you can click on, I'm sorry for the signal issue. I think it's clear now. Yes. So phonetics, if you do not know the phonetic symbols of the dictionary, won't worry. In electronic dictionaries, there is a speaker icon. When you click on it, the virtual dictionary, the online dictionary, sounds the word so that by imitating that sound, you can learn the phonetics of that word. That is one part of the metadata. The second thing is it gives the part of speech in the sense, now when you know lots of words, you cannot actually collect all these words and their meanings in single basket. Now, for the ease of using words in sentences and paragraphs in bigger writing and reading context, we actually identify those words in baskets. These baskets that we collect the vocabulary are identified as parts of speech. You know, nouns, verbs, adjectives, prepositions, and so on. There are 8 parts of speech. And you, when you learn a word, know which basket should this word be fallen in. If it is an article, you should know this is an article. If it is a preposition, you should know this should go into the preposition basket. So that is what we call parts of speech. And then very sensitive information comes in the next point. What is it? There is a place where the very word is indicated with its register. What do you call register? A register means, Puta, whether this particular word that you're searching, whether it's a formal or informal in usage. So those words which are identified as formal are typically an item of academic English. Those words which are identified as informal are part of your everyday English, but not particularly in academic English. So when you search hereinafter for a meaning of a dictionary, word in a dictionary, you have to look for its phonetics, you have to get it in the right basket, parts of speech, and you have to see whether it's a formal vocabulary item or an informal vocabulary item. And this formal and informal idea is given in brackets. And now we are going to test a bit of a dictionary search. Now, I'm sure that all of you have internet connection. Go and find an online dictionary and search the word validate. When you search for the word validate, you will be able to find its phonetics. And if you see the phonetics in symbols, if you can note it down how it is written, great. If not, you can click on the speak and come to know how to pronounce it. And then form and see whether next to the word within brackets, whether it's given as a formal or informal register. Quickly find it and send me the answers in chat. You have to find the phonetic symbols where the very word is articulated. You have to find the parts of speech it belongs, and you have to tell me what register it belongs to. Quickly do it and send me in chat these information, metadata information on validate. I'm waiting for your answers. You have to refer to an online or electronic dictionary. And if you're referring to a manual dictionary book, you have to type it out in the chat. You have to find 3 metadata: the phonetic, the parts of speech, the basket which it belongs to, whether it's formal or informal. Can I hear from you? Can I see? Can I read your chats? I know the phonetic symbol typing is not easy. You can simply select it and copy and paste. I'm receiving answers. Okay, Tariq. Validate. Okay. That's the phonetic symbol. Okay. Yes, Randhani. What I told you is to use an electronic dictionary or an online dictionary and search the word validate, as you can see on screen, and find in that dictionary its phonetic symbol, its part of speech, and see whether it's formal or informal in register. Thank you, Tariq, for sending the Okay, Fatima Sasna sent. Yes. It's validate. It's a verb. And Fatima found it's in formal register. Well, so this is a simple basic dictionary skill that you have to master. Previously, you just looked for the definition or the meaning alone, but now you see whether it belongs to a particular word category that is part of speech, and you identify whether it is formal or informal. Now remember, all the formal category words are part of what? Academic discourse. They are part of academic English. I'm waiting for others also to respond. Thank you, Chatumika. Validate, verb, and it's formal. Yes. I'm sure everyone found it. Please send it here, which confirms me that you got it. Well, with that, we are moving to the next slide, but let me give chance for everyone. Yes. Thank you, Sayanuja. Validate, verb. And you didn't find whether formal or informal. It's formal, right? Tasnif also found validate, verb. Yeah, it's a formal vocabulary item. Right. So let's move on to decoding context clues. Now, how can you simply detect from the context? Now, when you read through a text, when you start reading through, thank you, Randhani. Sasni and Randhani have sent your responses. Thank you. And let's see. Now, you cannot often go back to it's not always possible for everyone to keep a dictionary by side of your original book and read it through. Now, remember, you don't need to know the meaning of every word to understand a text. Context clues, or rather the very word and what appears around that word and what this verb or word as a part of speech, when you sense those details from the text, it is easy for you to understand. මම සිංහලෙන් කියන්නම් ඒක. හැම වචනයකම තේරුම දැනගන්න ඕන නෑ පුතේ වාට කිසියම් ඡේදයක වාක්‍යයක තේරුම ගන්න. Right? For you to understand the meaning of a sentence, you don't need to know every word in it. Right? So, the very context it appears and the other words surrounded by the new word tells you part of the story. ඔයාගේ කතන්දරෙන් භාගයක් ඒ වටේ තියෙන වචන කියනවා. ඒ වගේම එයා ඇසුරු කරන අනික් වචන වලින් ඔයාට කතන්දරේ තේරුම් ගන්න පුළුවන්. Right? So how can you do that? Now, the best way to look for that is don't stop at the new word when you found it in the text. පොතේ අලුතෙන් කියවන්න ගියාම අලුත් වචනයක් හම්බෙච්ච ගමන් නතර වෙන්න එපා. Right? So see, if you are stopping there, go for the definition. And if you go for the definition, do not stop at the definition. Or definition එක ගාව නතර වෙන්න එපා. බලන්න synonyms මොනවද කියලා. What do you mean by synonyms? The other similar words. And then look for the antonym. Antonym means the opposite word. And then look at a description, summary, and visual as well. Now see, all those things are there when you're reading the text as well as in the internet and elsewhere. So when you deal with the word, you are not going to stop at simple metadata phonetics, parts of speech, and formal informal category, and you're going to play with the same word even beyond that level. You look for synonyms, antonyms, the description, summary of it, and perhaps you'll be looking for visual helps for you to understand it. Now, what happens when you're trying with all this? දැන් මේ හැම ක්‍රමයකින්ම අලුත් වචනයක තේරුම් උත්සාහ කරනකොට මොකද්ද වෙන්නේ කියලා කල්පනා කරලා බලන්න. වෙන්නේ තමයි ඔයාගේ මනසත් එක්ක with your brain you are going to do a bit of an experiment with the word. When you go on experimenting, looking at what is the similar word, what is the opposite word, what is it, what the kind of a picture that illustrates it, all these things help your brain decode and register that particular word in your mind. So these are simply decoding skills that you need to master. I wish that is clear. And with that, we are going to do a bit of an exercise. Now, look at this very example. Here you are given a sentence, actually a couple of them. Some of these words are not actually known to you. Imagine that you don't know them, but try to detect the meaning of it. Let's read. The transition to renewable energy sources such as wind and solar that are not depleted when used is critical. Unlike finite resources like coal, these provide security. Now imagine that you understood nothing about this. Now you stuck in the very word renewable energy. If you are going to stop and go to the dictionary, you are delaying your time. So my advice is do not stop there, because you see renewable energy is a new word coming in this text. In STEM text, if the very word is further given with details, definitions, simply this M dash simple signal appear. This very sign is called M dash. When M dash appears, which means this new word is defined in the next section. Now you see, in between M dash, the meaning of the word is given. What is renewable energy? Sources such as wind and solar that are not depleted when used. Even though when you use a particular energy, they do not end. That is the idea. So renewable energy, in your STEM text, remember that this strategy is used. The M dash strategy, where next to the word probably standard STEM text give its what? Definition. So that is one way of looking at it. Second, look at, unlike finite resources like coal, these provide security. Now you see, finite resources. Finite is not a word that you are known to. Just imagine, right? Coal, these provide security. Now you get a little idea. Renewable energy is all about non-ending resources or energy sources. Yes, finite resources. So it must be something against renewable energy, right? So you get a little idea, and with that you move forward. So that is one of the strategies that you can try. So we are going to try a second detective work. Now look at clue detective B. Shall we all read? The leader's authoritarian approach centralized all decision making in a small committee, while his predecessors was egalitarian, ensuring every citizen had an equal voice. He centralized power. Now this is a political text. There are two words, authoritarian and egalitarian, right? Now, you don't know anything about authoritarian or egalitarian, but the next word comes with that. Without M dash, it actually describes what it is. Authoritarian approach centralized all decision making in a small committee. Now it tells. What is authority? Decision making is given to a central committee. That is authoritarian. So you see, within the text itself, the context and clues and definitions are given. Look at the next thing. While his predecessors was egalitarian, the next word, egalitarian, the meaning is given, just look at the comma and the rest of the sentence. Ensuring every citizen had an equal voice. Now, egalitarian is all about every citizen equal voice. You see? Authoritarian is about centralized decision making, small committee. You get. So never stop reading. Read like a detective. Within the text itself, the evidence for you to understand the word is given. And understanding the word in that way is the easiest and most effective way. Did you understand the true strategies that I taught here? You can indicate it with a emotion, maybe thumbs up, love, or something like that. So never simply move away, jump into a dictionary, just try within the context itself to see the meaning of it. We are going to try one more example. Here it is. Shall we read and try? The patient's behavior was highly erratic. One night he slept 12 hours, the next he remained awake until dawn. This instability made a clinical study impossible. Now, this is a medical text, right? Patient behavior was erratic. You get? The very word erratic is seemingly new, but you are not going to stop there and jump into the dictionary. You are going to continue reading, and in the reading, you come to know, oh my God, erratic means, oh my God, one night he sleeps 12 hours, the other night he keeps awake full day. Oh my God, erratic means, it's not a stable or rather continuing right regular behavior. You see, this instability, erratic sounds typically synonyms with instability, you see. So things of that nature are simply egalitarian means, Chatumini asked a question, what is egalitarian? Egalitarian means puta democracy, democratic, which means everyone has power equally. So when you say samata samanama bale tibeai කියන සංකල්පය තමයි egalitarian කියලා කියන්නේ. Right? I wish I have cleared it. And I'm sure that we are joined by our teacher, Madam Ashwini Karunaratna, as well. If she feels fine, she'll speak to you. Just a word. Say hi.
Hi, so I'm not doing the session today, but I just speak with you on the next day, right? So I'm not well today, so right. Go ahead with the session, sir.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. So, friends, Madam Ashwini is going to be the other lecturer who will be teaching this session with me. And she actually, despite her difficult situations, she decided to come and just say hi to you all, right? So let's move on and see how we are moving along, guessing the meaning of a word through the context, right? So you understood that erratic behavior, you are not going to stop and jump into dictionary. You are going to read the rest, and while you're reading the rest, you get the meaning, right? So dictionary skill is a mastery that you have to, practice and achieve. At the same time, without going to dictionary, there are still ways that you can master the rest of the master the meaning of it. Okay. Now, in this examples, we have tried certain things. When the very word is introduced in the text with a signal word, its antonym is given. Now you see, did you identify in one place unlike? With unlike as a signal word, the meaning is given. Let me go back to the text where it was there, right? Here you see, unlike, so renewable is the word and finite is the antonym. So when the word unlike is indicated, you have to sense that words opposite meaning antonym is going to be given, right? Did you see the dashes? I told you the M dash, right? When dashes appear, it's a signal that the definition or the meaning is going to be explained in the immediate next moment, right? And then technical function. So did you infer while the very word is appearing and when you guess the meaning, in your inner mind, did you actually try to find which basket, which category, which parts of speech does it belong to? That is something you have to practice, right? So I'm not going to look at this checklist, but this is a summary of the strategies that we used in detecting these words. So that we are moving to a very simple but very interesting topic, which we call word dynamics. Now, word dynamics means how words change from one word to another, or rather how a word behaves in a context, right? Engineering language is actually very dynamic. Not only engineering language, every word is dynamic in its own sense. හැම වචනයක්ම විවිධ චර්යා රටාවන් පෙන්නනවා ඒ ඉන්න ස්වරූපේ. So we are going to look at some of those behaviors of the words with which you are going to find things easy. So let's move on. Now, in every word, remember that, as we decode matter into its atoms and atoms further into its neutrons, electrons, and protons, words also can be divided into its smaller building blocks, right? Every word actually comes with either of these morphemes. Morphemes is a technical term you don't need to know. Morpheme is just a segment, a particle, just see. And it comes with free morphemes and bound morphemes. What you call a pre-morpheme is, quite simply, within the word itself, there is a particular segment, piece of the word, which is meaningful as it is. Then what is a bound morpheme is, the very center word is associated by some other sound. If you separate that particle of the sound as a separate entity, it does not sound meaningful, but it is adding meaning when they are together, right? Just look at, if you say drink as an example here, let me annotate it. If you take drink as a word in a sentence, drink, is a pre-morpheme which is meaningful. But if you are added with the very word ing next to drink, it's a new word, drinking. So that in this case, the new word is a combination between pre-morpheme drink and the bound morpheme ing. So drinking is a new word. So this behavior of free morphemes and bound morphemes join together and make new words is a behavior of a word, right? Academic, technical terms are engineered by combining these particles, pre-morphemes and bound morphemes. They are combined together, and by combining, they make new words, so that you know how new words are formed. Well, with that, let's move on to see this, the next thing. The other thing is, when a very word root, which we call the free morpheme of a word, is detected. Now, in the previous case, drinking, right? So drink appears as the root, or rather the free morpheme of this word. And when it is added with the ing bound morpheme, drinking makes a new word, right? Now, drinking, drinkable, drunk, drunkard are all the words associated with the root form drink. Now, when you make drink connected with other forms of the same word, we call it creating the root and the word family. And this word family is really an important fact in your search for vocabulary. Yes, no worries. I'm going back to the previous slide. No, you don't need to worry about getting these slides. I'll be posting them on Moodle after the lecture, but just, try to pick it up. Let's move on. So what is a word family is quite simply, a word family is you understand the root form of the word and you see how the root form connects with bound morphemes and how the new forms of the same words are created. Say, for example, if you say simply cook as a word, root form, free morpheme, and it can be added with cooked, ed, the bound morpheme and free morpheme connected, and then cooking, bound morpheme is ing. Now cook, cooking, cooked, cook, cooker, cookering, all these words are members of the same word family. That is what we call identifying word families. Now, these are all skills that you require practicing when you're mastering vocabulary. And moving to the next little thing, the very behavior of compounding. What is this new behavior? Now, you identified free morphemes and bound morphemes. In free morphemes, what happens is that particular word itself has a meaningful expression. In a bound morpheme, the bound morpheme alone, that particle has not got a particular meaning without the free morpheme in. But there is one behavior of words, that is to make new words by combining two free morphemes together. Say, for example, here you get the free morpheme water and the second free morpheme fall, and they are fused together and create a new word, what we call waterfall. And look at the second example. See is a free morpheme, show is a free morpheme. They have meaning separately, but when they are joined together, they have another meaning, seashore. And look at the last example, class plus mate, classmate. And the popular example is ice cream, highway, right? So compounding is a behavior of a word where free morphemes join with other free morphemes and make new words. That's the compounding behavior. Know that they behave in such a way. Now, when this compounding behavior comes into place, Putha, what happens is, if this compounding is very new and very odd between the two morphemes, they actually are indicated with the hyphen. Say, for example, if you see underdeveloped, under has a meaning and develop has a meaning. So when they connect together, underdeveloped comes in as a new word. When these words firstly appear in any context, they are indicated with a hyphen in between, under, then hyphen, development. So hyphenated words are examples of compounding, and sometimes some words are hyphenated, some are not hyphenated. Not hyphenated are actually fused. They are linked together and write as a one word. So you learned one behavior of word today. What is it? Compounding. What is it? Meaningful free morphemes join with other meaningful free morphemes. Word 1 joins with word 2 and makes a third brand new word. The examples include waterfall, classmate, seashore, ice cream. Yes. And then we are moving into affixation. Affixation is actually something that you already know. Now, I told you about the free morpheme and bound morpheme. When a free morpheme and bound morpheme joins together, that behavior is called affixation. In the previous example, cooking, cook, and the bound morpheme ing makes new word cooking. So it's an affixation behavior. English has two ways of affixation which you have learnt in English: prefix and suffix, prefixation and suffixation. English is very typical. It doesn't get any affixation. I will teach what is affixation, infixation, which means now in English, these bound morphemes are typically added to the beginning of the word or to the end of the word. We call it, it is added to the head or the tail of the word. It is not added to the mid of the word, right? So, say for example, pollute. If you take the first example, it has three morphemes. Un is a bound morpheme, D is a bound morpheme at the end, pollute is the root free morpheme. Root word is added with free morpheme at the beginning, bound morpheme at the beginning, and another bound morpheme at the end, and they make a new word. So affixation is the second behavior. So you come to know two behaviors. What are they? Can you name them? The first thing is compounding. Can you remember? Yes, which means two pre-morphemes go together and make a new word. And the second behavior is affixation. Bound and free morphemes join, where free morpheme sets in the center, either to the beginning or to the end of the free morpheme, there comes a bound morpheme or couple of them and make new words. I think it is clear. And the third thing is transfiguration. This is a new word that you are coming to know, right? Now look at what happens. As a word go, when it is added with bound morphemes like going, you see the free morpheme and bound morpheme both together. But when you look at its past tense, you don't see any sign of go in the very word of went. Do you see? You don't see. So there are some words which actually change its shape totally into a different shape and make new words. We call this behavior transfiguration. Go, went, meet, met, stick, stuck. This is typically the case of irregular verbs in English. All the irregular verbs make the behavior transfiguration to make its past and past participle forms. So you learned these three behaviors today as a strategy of new word learning. I have the slide goes on, but I'm going to stop today's discussion there because we actually learned something very new today. What do you think about the things we have learned today? Did you find word as a play point where you can do a bit of a gaming with words? Did you find that secret gaming that you can do with words today? මට කියන්න පුතේ වචන හම්බුනාට පස්සේ මීට පස්සේ සෙල්ලම් කරන්න පුළුවන් ෆීල්ඩ් එකක් විදිහට වචන ගැන තේරුම් ගන්න දැන් පුළුවන්ද? They have a wonderful game. You can identify its context with context clues. We understood M dash and all that. And then we come to understand its different behaviors, which we call word dynamics. So when you learn a new word, try and do all these exercises. When you're doing this gaming, what happens, Puta? You start to play with the word and you are going to make use of that word in its all possible ways, and you are going to make the entire family tree of that word. When you know the entire family tree, which means you become a perfect use of that word. So that is the first secret I wanted to share with you in our first lesson. Now tell me in one single sentence how you felt about the first day. We are not going to feed a lot to your mind every week. We are feeding a little, but with that little, we are allowing you to do lots of experiments. අපි දිනපතා ගොඩාක් විෂය කරුණු ඔලුවට දාන්නේ නැහැ. සරල පාවිච්චි කළ හැකි අත්හදා බැලිය හැකි උපකරණයක් දෙනවා. ඒ උපකරණයත් එක්ක ඔයා අත්හදා බැලීම් කරනවා. ඔයාට අත්හදා බැලීම් ගොඩක් කරනකොට ඔයා ගොඩක් ඒක මාස්ටර් කරනවා. දැන් අදින් පස්සේ වෙන දේ තමයි ඔයාට Moodle එකේ quizzes එනවා මේ behaviors පාදක කරගෙන ගේමින් කරන්න. ඊට අමතරව මම මෙච්චර වෙලා කියා දීපු word dynamics word behavior game එක කරන්න word family එක තෝරගන්න game එක කරන්න මේ දේවල් කරාම ඔයා word mastery කියන එකේ expert කෙනෙක් වෙනවා. That's what I wanted to teach you in this evening. Did you learn something? Give me in one sentence, either in chat or you can speak and tell me, did you learn something new? And do you find that learning this way is the way forward, or rather, is it boring? Can I hear from one of you? That's the greatest way that you can communicate. ඔයාට තේරෙන්නේ නැති අපි ටිපිකල් ඉංග්‍රීසි පන්තියක් නෙමෙයි. right? මේක ඇතුලේ අපි කියා දෙන්නේ විද්‍යාඥයෙක් වගේ භාෂාව ගැනත් හිතන්න. එතකොට භාෂාව අලුතු අමුතු විකාරයක් නෙමෙයි හරි සරල දෙයක්. ඒකයි මම අද කියන්න උත්සාහ කළ කාරණා.